Good evening, children. Now, the Thieves story, part 2, that is second video for this chapter, in which I will discuss the difficult words and main points and chapter in detail. Children, just see, the word is approached. Approached means reached or went. Easygoing means carefree. Flattery, praising too much. Patted, tapped gently. Stray, of the streets. Queer, that is strange. Afford, to bear. Beam, that is ray. Scars, marks of wounds. Clear? One more word is there. Inspired. Inspired. That is encouraged. Is it clear, children? Good. Now, just highlights of the chapter. Just try to understand the main point first. A 15-year-old petty old thief Hari Singh befriends Anil in a wrestling match with eyes and Anil's money to steal. Hari Singh wins the confidence of Anil and starts living with him in a small room. Anil starts teaching him to read and write. Anil develops confidence and trust in him and opens up. But Hari Singh is in search of right time to steal Anil's money. At last, he gets an opportunity to steal and goes out to the railway station to catch a train for his hometown. But Hari Singh's conscience gets the upper hand on him and he returns to Anil's room. In doing so, he is purely guided by the impact of Anil's way of life. It is to be a writer and to lead a respectable life. Anil does not show that he knows about the theft when it is the morning. He accepts Hari Singh like before. The story shows how a thorough gentleman as Anil is reforms a teenager who has strayed from the right path of life. The moral of the story is how goodness corrects a teenager from going astray. As I have told you, children, even in the previous clippings, that even we can bring a very bad person, even a criminal, even a convict on the right path if we show love, affection, sympathy, and moreover, trust in that person. Is it clear? Now, children, just try to understand the chapter in detail. Children, the narrator was a thief when he met Anil. He was only 15. Who was 15 years old? Hari Singh. Good. Anil had been watching a wrestling match when he went to him. Anil was about 25 and was lean and tall. He looked kind, simple and easygoing. The narrator soon made Anil his friend, and Hari Singh was very much clever to recognize his target. Hari Singh lied that his name was Hari Singh, though his original name was not such. He always used to change his name in order to keep himself away from the thief. It was to avoid the police and his former employees. Anil walked away. The narrator followed him. He smiled and told Anil that he wanted to work for him. Anil replied that he could not. Anil replied that he could not pay him. He asked Anil if he could feed him. Anil asked if he could cook. उसने जब पूछा कि आप मुझे खाना खिला सकते हैं, then he told yes, अगर तुम कुक कर सको तो. The narrator lied that he could cook, so Anil took him to his room over the Jamuna sweet shop. He told him that he could sleep on the balcony. The narrator cooked the food, but Anil gave it to a dog as it was tasteless. He asked the narrator to go, but he remained there. After some time, Anil told him to stay. He also told him that he would teach him how to cook. Actually, Anil was very much impressed by the innocence of Hari Singh and innocence of a child can deceive anyone. Innocence of a child can impress anyone. The narrator made the tea in the morning. He would buy the day's supplies. In that he would make a profit of about ₹1 a day. Anil knew he made money that way, but he never spoke about it. Children, this is what we call showing trust, showing confidence. And ultimately, Anil was able to transform him. Anil made money by fits and starts. Do you know the phrase? Fits and starts? Irregularly. His income was not regular, but his income was irregular. He was the writer. When he made much of it, he would celebrate. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes. He told the narrator that he had just sold a book to a publisher. By this time, the narrator had been working for Anil for almost a month. By this time, Anil had given him a key to the door. He would come and go as he liked. Just see, he gave him the key. Whenever he wanted to go, he went. Whenever he wanted to come, he came. The narrator found it difficult to rob Anil because he was careless. That took all the pleasure of robbing. However, he decided to steal money. He thought it right as Anil did not pay him some money. The narrator studied the situation. Anil was asleep. He had the money under the mattress. If he took the money, he could catch the 10:30 train express to Lucknow. So he stole the notes and went out of the room. Children, the narrator held the notes by the string of his pajamas. The notes were 600 in 50s. 50 का नोट था, 600 रुपये का. He could live like a wild-rich Arab for a week or two. When he reached the station, the Lucknow Express was just moving out. He could jump into it, but he did not. He was on the platform. He had no idea where to spend the night. He did not want to stay in a hotel either. He walked through the bazaar slowly. As a thief, the narrator had studied men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear. The rich man showed anger. The poor man showed acceptance, but he knew that Anil would show sadness when he would know of it. This sadness would be for the loss of trust. Such a theft was always good for the thief. And lastly, he decides that Anil had promised that he will teach him. If he runs away with this money, he will be a thief. But if he studies properly, but if he learns something from Anil, he will be a very big man. And his conscience strikes him, and he doesn't want to cheat Anil. Ultimately, it started raining. Ultimately, he returned home. He was drenched. It was midnight. The notes were damp. He felt that it was Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given him 2 or 3 rupees. It was for the cinema. Now he had it all. He couldn't cook his meals and learn to write. The narrator had forgiven these things in the excitement of the theft. He felt that writing could bring him more than a few hundred rupees. It was simple to be a thief, but to be really a big man and respected man was something else. He decided to go back to Anil to learn to read and write. He hurried back to the room. He was feeling very nervous. He opened the room door and stood in the doorway. Children, Anil was still asleep. He slipped these notes back under the mattress. जहां से हरि सिंह ने पैसा चुराया था मैट्रेस के अंदर से, अल्टीमेटली वहीं पर रख दिया. लेकिन बच्चों, तुम तो जानते हो कि वो नोट भीग गया था. तो जब भी अनिल उसको देखेगा तो सारी बात तो उसके समझ में आ जाएगी, और बात उसके समझ में आ भी गई. बट he did not drive Hari Singh out of the house. Children, he awoke late next morning. Anil had already made the tea. He offered a 50 rupee note to the narrator. The narrator's heard saying he felt that he had been discovered. अब हरी सिंह को काफी डर हुआ. वो जो 50 रुपीज का नोट निकाल के उसको दिया जा रहा है तो वो तो भींगा हुआ है. तो अनिल समझ जाएगा कि ये आखिर कैसे भींगा. He will certainly punish him. He can even hand him over to the police. But Anil didn't do any such thing. He felt that he had been discovered. Anil told him that he had made some money the day before. Now he would pay the narrator regularly. He also told that they would start writing sentences. The narrator smiled at Anil in his most appealing way. Anil knew the theft, but he did not say anything to him about it. Children, again the same message is there, that we can correct even a wrong man if we show trust to him. And children, you should also understand the broad-heartedness of Mr. Anil. He knows that he is living with a thief. The person with him, Mr. Hari Singh, has stolen the money and ultimately kept it back, but he doesn't take any harsh action. Rather, he gives him a chance to correct himself. And children, this is the way to lead life. This is the way to show right path to others. Children, only walking oneself on the right path is not important. What is more important is to bring some more persons on the right path. That Anil did. Anil was really a very fine gentleman, but he also made Hari again a fine gentleman. He made him literate. He made him educated. And children, you know, if anyone is educated, sky is the limit for him or her. Thank you, children. I hope this chapter might be quite clear to you. I will also send you some questions in PDF. Thank you, children. God bless you. Keep smiling. Good night.